Hi reception, welcome to today's topic lesson. Now before we start, you may want to join in with today's lesson. And if that's the case, you're going to need a few things. First of all, you need a helper. Second of all, you're going to need some chocolate. You don't need lots, just a small little bag of chocolate will be fine, or a few strips from a larger bar. And you're probably going to need a microwave, which is why you need your helper. Okay, so if you want to join in with today's topic lesson, you need to go get those things now. If not, you can watch me and we can do it together. Okay? Right then, let's get started. So this week, we're going to be thinking about changes again. Now, we've done a little bit of work on changes where we thought about changes that happen with food, didn't we? We talked about that, and we were at my kitchen and you were helping me talk about the way the food had changed when I made my breakfast. Well, we're going to be building on that this week. And today we are going to be doing an experiment that is finding out what happens when we apply heat to something, okay? And then we're going to be observing what happens. So I heard two important words there. One we've used before and one that I think might be a fairly new word. Can anybody remember what it means if we are observing something, if we're making observations? What is it we're doing? That's right. To observe something means to look at something, to watch something, and to look at it really carefully. And that's how we learn about the world around us, by making lots of observations, looking at what happens and watching things. And we are going to be watching changes today, or finding out about changes. The other word that I said was we're going to be doing an experiment. Ooh, does anybody know what that word means? What's an experiment? Who does an experiment and why did they do it? Pause the video and have a chat with your helper. Oh, some great answers, reception. Well done. Well, an experiment, these are, I suppose, activities that we do or things we do to try and find something out. They are a way of answering questions. So, for example, scientists do lots of experiments. They have lots of questions about the world around them and they want to try and answer them to find something out or maybe to solve a problem. So they will do an experiment to see if they can do that. Can they find the answer? Can they try and answer a question? And that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be scientists because anybody can be a scientist. And experiments are happening probably all around us and we don't even realise it. So today we've got a question. And the question is, can you change chocolate by heating it? Oh, heating it. What does it mean to heat something, do you think? That's right. When we heat something, we're warming it up, aren't we? We're making it hotter. And there are lots of ways you can heat things up. You could put things in the sun to heat them up. You can use things in our kitchens like microwaves or cook-hobs or ovens. They heat things up. You could even use a flame, so the fire on a candle or on a bonfire can heat things up. So heat can come from lots of different places. You could even heat things up in your hand if you held it really, really tight. And today, we're wondering about chocolate and if we can change chocolate by adding some heat to it. I wonder what you think. Pause the video and talk to your helper. What do you think is the answer to this question? Can you make a prediction? Well, I heard lots of different answers then. Some people think that yes, you can change chocolate by heating it. Some people weren't sure. Some people said no. So I think we need to investigate this, don't we? We better do an experiment to see if we can find out if chocolate will change when it's heated. So what's the first step? Well, the first thing we need to do is to look at what chocolate is like before we add the heat. And I've got some here. Okay. Here we go, some ordinary chocolate. And this is how it starts. I've just taken it from a bar like this. That's all you need, a little bit like this. Now let me do some observations now, okay? And I'm going to use my senses to help me do those observations. So think about my senses. Can you think what the 5 senses are? Have a little think. Well done. We can look with our eyes, smell with our nose, taste with our tongue, which is the best part. We can use our ears, although I'm not sure that's going to be very helpful for today. We can use our touch to see how things feel. So let's have a look at what the chocolate's like to begin with. And if you've got some chocolate at home, you can join in with me, can't you? So let me look at it first. Okay, well, it's a brown colour. It's a little bit shiny. I can see the light shining off it a little bit. Let me smell it. Oh, it smells very sweet. Yep, definitely chocolate. Let me try a bit. It's very, very sweet. And it's quite hard. I had to bite down and I had to munch it to crunch it up to eat it. So it's quite hard. And actually, when I use my fingers, yeah, I can't squeeze it, can't stretch it. Oh gosh, it's very hard. It's a solid at the moment. No, can't stretch it, can't bend it. Wonder if I can snap it. Oh, I can snap it. And did you hear that? I made that noise because it's quite solid at the moment. It's quite hard. So there we go. I've used my senses. Can't really listen to chocolate though, so I don't need that one. And that's what it's like to begin with. So, what would be a sensible way to record my ideas about what it's like at the start so I can see what the changes are? I know. I think I'm going to fill in a table. Would you like to see my table? Hold on, let me just move this round. Okay. Now, tables are a great way of setting out ideas and information in a way so that people can read it and understand it. Set this home so you could fill one of these in at home as well. If you have got it, grab it now. If not, you could always draw one on paper. Okay, so if you'd like to join in with me now, grab it and then pause the video and then come back and join us. Okay, so it says here at the start. So it says, what's it like at the start? What was the chocolate like before we did the experiment, before we applied the heat? Well, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to draw some pictures and put some words in here, I think, to remind me. So I had a strip of chocolate and let me think. Oh, it was brown. It was hard. It's now untasted sweet. I had a word. What was that word I said for something that was really hard? You couldn't stretch it. What was that? Oh, solid. It was solid. Or it was solid. And what else? Oh, it snapped when you bent it. I'm going to put snapped. And these aren't full sentences, they're just little notes to remind me of what I saw, what my observations were, so I can talk about it afterwards. It was hard to bite, so brown, smelt sweet, solid. I think that's all the things. I said it was a little bit shiny, so I'm going to put some shine, because it wasn't really shiny like a coin would be or a gem, but it had a little bit of shine on it. So some shine on it. Okay, so that's the start. And then I've got another box next to it, which I'm going to fill in once I've done the experiment. It says after it was heated. Now, can you pause the video? Can you remember what is our science question? What is our question about chocolate today? What are we going to try and find out? Well done. We want to know if you can change chocolate by heating it. So when we do our experiment, we're going to see if any of these things have changed. Because if it has changed and some of these things don't apply once we've heated it, well, then we know that yes, by heating the chocolate, we have brought about a change. So I've filled in my grid. What's left to do? Well, I think because we are really fantastic scientists, before I go and heat the chocolate, let's make a prediction. Let's guess what's going to happen, what the answer is going to be. Pause the video and tell your helper what you think is going to happen when we heat the chocolate. Okay, so some of you have had another little think. We weren't sure at the start, but that time I heard some people say they think when they heat up the chocolate, it's going to melt. It's going to change and it's not going to be some of these things anymore. And I heard some people say They were thinking about another time when they had chocolate and it melted. When they made some chocolate chip cookies and the chocolate chips went in the oven, they melted. I heard some people say when they were holding their chocolate bar, it melted on their fingers because their hand was heating it up. Well done, scientists. I can see we're starting to think more carefully now and using observations that have happened before to help us today. Okay, so this is the part where the grown-ups need to help you if you're joining in, because we're going to go and heat the chocolate. So I'm going to pause the video and I'm going to melt my bits of chocolate in a dish in a microwave and I'm going to see what happens. Are you ready? Okay, I'll see you shortly. Bye. Hello, reception. Oh, thanks for joining me again. I just had to go to the kitchen for a few minutes to heat up the chocolate to see what happened. Do you want to see the results? The results are what has happened after the experiment. Shall we see if it's changed? Remember, at the start, it was brown, it was hard, it was solid, it snapped, it was a little bit shiny. Here's what's happened. Look. You ready? Oh, my goodness. My goodness, it has changed. Let's have a look at some of the changes I can see. Oh, well, first of all, do you think it's hard? No, it's gone really, really squishy. It's gone really runny. You can pour this. You couldn't pour the chocolate before because it was solid, and now it's it's into a liquid. Look, so I can pour it. It's squashy and runny. Let me smell it again. Still smells sweet. Let me taste a bit. Very, very sweet. I didn't have to crunch it because it was running. Could I snap this? No, it wouldn't snap. It doesn't make any sound actually. Not that I can hear with my ears anyway. So there have been some changes. I think it's time to fill our grid back in. Let's have a look. Well, let's use another colour this time. So, after it was heated, well, let's draw a little picture. I'm going to draw it in the bowl. And then I'm going to draw the chocolate running. And I might draw it dripping down off the spoon. I didn't leave much room. Whoops, I didn't use this hat. So now it is still brown. That didn't change. The colour stayed the same. It's no longer hard. In fact, it's quite soft, or maybe not soft's not the right word. It's definitely very, very runny. It's still sweet. That didn't change. But it's not solid. It's a liquid now. Does it snap? No, didn't make a sound. And if I look at it now, actually, if I compare it with some of the dry chocolate, which one is shinier? Can you see the light on it? Yeah. I'm going to put lots of shine. Because when it's being heated up and it melts, in fact, I might put that word here, melted, it becomes shinier. Oh, reception. Do you think we can answer our question now? Let's have a look. Can you change chocolate by heating it? What do you think the answer is? Yes, you can change it. You can change it from a hard solid to a runny, squishy, gooey liquid. And actually, when I touch it, it feels warm as well. That's something I didn't think about, how it feels now. And if I put my fingers in it, oh, it's very, very sticky as well. So I might add those to my grid now. Warm and sticky. Oh, and still delicious. Now, reception. What I'd like you to do now is to have a go at filling in your own grid and then come back and join me because I've got a little bit to talk to you about afterwards. Okay, bye now.